Hi, and welcome to Terribly Fun Films. We have a very special nerd show and tell for you today because it's Dragon Con wrap-up time. For those who've been following me for a long time, starting in like late April, early May, I began the Dragon Con countdown, which was one review a week as per I released my videos. That was looking at a film starring or co-starring one of the major celebrities who would be showing up to Dragon Con. So the Mortal Kombat Legacy series for seasons 1 and 2. I did Ice Road Terror and Seasoning House. You can go back. They're labeled Dragon Con. You'll see what I'm talking about. For those who don't know, Dragon Con is placed in Atlanta, Georgia, and is a massive geek convention. It's not just anime, it's not just science fiction, it's not just horror, it's all of those. Plus literary giants, plus TV shows like The 100 and Arrow and The Flash, plus Starship Troopers and Stargate, and all these things were represented. And they had things about puppetry and animatronics and movies, and everything was broken down to what they call fan tracks, as this is what is described as a fan convention. If that sounds a little bit confusing to you, let me explain real quick. I was somewhat confused when I first heard it described that way in early 2017, and it was a little bit before I left, like just a few weeks before I left for the convention, that I understood what that meant. You can, when it's called a fan convention, you can probably figure out that it won't be Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con specifically, in terms of that is very much about the corporations coming and making their big announcements and rolling out their big stars. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly good thing. But I didn't get how it was different than, say, Crystal Coast Con or Otakon or anything like that. And here's where it's different. It's that aside from some people at the very top of the totem pole for Dragon Con, everybody working on it is a volunteer. They are fans who believe in XYZ thing, or all of them, or an A thing, or whatever particular geek thing is their passion. Up to the point where I have a friend who's been volunteering for them for 13 years. 13 years is how long he's been doing it. So what this means is everything is divided into fan tracks. And that way, if your particular fandom is, say, horror, you can just go to the horror track and look up everything they're doing. If your particular track is haunting, paranormal type things, ghost sightings, they have a paranormal track. If your thing is Star Wars, they have a Star Wars track. If your thing are puppets, they have a puppetry track. This covers everything you can imagine and gets very specific at that. There are a lot of different fantasy tracks, including urban fantasy, which included Buffy and Angel, things like that. So Shiloh here was very sad we were gone for so long, so now she feels she deserves all the love and all the pets. So that's what's happening right now. So you could have spent all conventions, all 4 days of the convention, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, kind of, sort of, Thursday, I'll get into that in a little bit, just at one track, basically. They do room clears, that's for every event. That way people waiting in line for an hour or however long it's been can just definitely get into whatever it was they were waiting for. We left Thursday, and there was very little traffic. We made the 4.5-hour trip very easily. We got there at about 1:30, 1:45. That was really cool. I had to fill up for gas once, which isn't a big deal at all. We got to check into our hotel room early, which was awesome, as check-in doesn't technically start until 3. And again, we were about an hour and 15-ish minutes early. But they let us do it anyway, which was unloaded the car, got everything together, got all our stuff together, and then we figured out where we need to go to catch the subway system we were going to take to the heart of Atlanta, which is where everything is. We figured that out, bought our Breeze cards, which are the sort of subway cards that you can refill with money and that sort of thing. Got registration done, all that jazz, and that night we bought tickets for the Labyrinth Masquerade Ball at the Center for Puppetry Arts, which was a lot of fun. Toby Freud was there. Toby Freud played the baby Toby in Labyrinth, and he himself does do stop motion and puppetry work in films, and was a really nice guy. Outside of doing some of the more overseeing type stuff of the ball, there was a costume contest. He and the other guests, celebrity guests there, were judging, and things like that. He was out on the floor talking to everybody. Didn't matter who you were, didn't matter who you dressed up as or anything like that. He would talk to you, and he was just awesome. So that's why Thursday was a little bit, thrown in there, kind of a Thursday, but it's a lot of different places did lots of big events like this. There was one at the aquarium. There was one, I think, at Sheraton, which is the downtown Sheraton, which is where registration was. But I don't recall. But there were multiple dances and stuff like that Thursday night that were a lot of fun. Speaking of such things, this is the mask I wore to it. As you can see, the cat is dying to be played with. And this is the mask Courtney wore. When leaving for that, we just packed all our clothes and stuff to change into, so we'd be dressed up for the masquerade ball in the backpack that I brought. It made things mostly easy. But that was Thursday. Thursday gets a little bit more time because of that. The museum was epic and awesome. We did get some really cool things there. We got this little koozie that says Labyrinth Masquerade Ball and the Center for Puppetry Arts on the back. Really awesome. We got this Center for Puppetry Arts magnet, which is super cute. It's an elephant with a little hat. It's adorable. This Kermit postcard. This postcard for the Gartham, which is one of the, basically the henchmen for the Skeksis in Dark Crystal. And Talk to the Hand sock puppet postcard. So another really cool thing about DragonCon is this handy dandy app here that has your schedule on. You can go through each event happening and click a little star button, meaning you want to go to that. And it'll line them up. So even if you have multiple things, multiple tracks, starting at 2 o'clock, they'll all be on your schedule, and you can decide based on how you're feeling, which hotel you're at, because this takes place across multiple hotels, and how crowded everything is, which one you definitively want to go to next, sort of thing. So that is super awesome and handy. So we use that quite a bit. We kind of figured all our stuff out beforehand. And starting on Friday, we actually left early to hang out with our friend Elizabeth, who went with us. She was excited for a panel about Anne of Green Gables, the mini series from the 80s. She grew up with it, she loves it, that sort of thing. In that line, I met the choreographer for a swing dancing that was happening. This was Friday, Saturday night, and got to talking to her. She was really cool, she was really awesome. She mentioned that Spider-Man Homecoming recently filmed there, and that was pretty fun to watch them do. Then once that line started moving, Courtney and I jumped out, and we went to our first thing, which was supposed to be a real crime, which had Bill Corbett, Trace Ballou, and Frank Conniff. You'll know those names if you're fans of Mystery Science Theater, Cinematic Titanic, and or Riff Track. And it was each one of them presented a clip from a movie that was either misunderstood, maligned, or generally disliked for whatever reason by society as a whole, and then defend it. And that didn't happen. They had technical issues. So then it turned into a Q&A, which was supposed to be Sunday. And everybody was talking with it. It was a lot of fun. It was a good Q&A. After that, I went into the Walk of Fame, which is where somebody had their tables, where you bring things for them to sign. I brought things to sign. Then met up with Gwen and Elizabeth again. We had brought snacks and that sort of thing, so we didn't go out for dinner, we just ate. Caught up, talked for a little bit. Then I had a professional photo op with all 3 stars of Starship Troopers who were there: Hester Dean, Dina Meyer, Patrick Muldoon, and that photo will be showed off in a moment. Elizabeth joined me for that. That was pretty cool. And then we went and then Elizabeth had another thing to do. Courtney and I went and got in line for the Time Guardians Heckle Along, which is basically Kevin Bossalder and I forget the other person on that panel. Sorry. Riffing the Time Guardians, which co-stars Carrie Fisher, and is ridiculous and very goofy and very silly. Fun, but in a bad way. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. And that ended Friday. Then we took the subway back to our hotel and crashed. Up nice and early on Saturday, so I could make it to the Defending Bad Movies panel, which started at 8:30 in the morning. I made that. That was a lot of fun, and it's just what it sounds like. It's people discussing bad movies and like Batman and Robin, and defending either certain aspects of them or why it's still worth watching even though it's bad. Things like that. That was a lot of fun. Then I went to the Rewind and Rewatch panel at the Military Sci-Fi track, which is where I spent a decent number of my time. Got there a little bit early because the other panel was in the same hotel, and that was really awesome. We weren't quite ready, so the door happened to be unlocked. I walked in, and there was just a bunch of volunteers. But I was able to pick up the coin I had pre-ordered for this track, which I'll show you the coin drop in a little bit. And got to talk to some of the volunteers. I gave them Twizzlers. They were very happy about that, because who doesn't love Twizzlers? The panel was really cool. It was about going back and rewatching things like Babylon 5, Space Above and Beyond, and what does hold up, what doesn't hold up, and should it have lasted longer? Did it last the right amount? That sort of thing. It was really cool. After that was the Streets of Fire panel, which is, of course, the Watch and Hill movie from 1984, I think. I don't quite remember the year it came out, so I could be wrong on that. And I love this movie. It's my favorite Walter Hill movie, and I think it's just an amazing, amazing film. And this was an awesome panel. It was about Streets of Fire. It recently came out earlier this year on a special edition Blu-ray, and it looked amazing and gorgeous. It had Daniel Griffith on there, and he works at Ballyhoo Productions. Could run out. He's the only person at Ballyhoo, and they team up with Shout Factory to make behind-the-scenes documentaries and stuff as special features for the various Shout Factory releases, and to bring classics to Shout Factory, to get the rights and to be able to release them on Blu-ray and whatnot. And he's the coolest guy in the world. He was so full of knowledge that the other people on the panel, including Kevin Ballshalber, who's the person I've known for a few years, who has been volunteering at Dragon Con for 13 years, who does all sorts of awesome things for the B movie and cult classic movie communities. Everybody else were fans, but he was able to bring a point of view, because he couldn't have the stars didn't have the director and things like that, that he was an authority on the film, and that really helped bring insight to the movie, a new way of looking at it, and that sort of thing, and it was awesome. So I did hit up the Walk of Fame again, and this time I got to more of the people that weren't there already. That was really awesome. Then I had a photo up at 2, so there was very little time between Walk of Fame and anything else, with Christopher Judge, who most people will know as Teal'c from Stargate SG-1. I know because he's been in Asylum movies like Age of the Hobbits, Mega Shark vs. Mecha Shark, and Sharknado 3. So that was a lot of fun. Then there was the Voltaire show, which happened to be on one of the floors in the same building as the vendors, the dealer's room, that kind of thing. And so I had to wait in line to get into that, despite it just being a crowd surrounding him. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see him interact with the crowd, but it was really loud. So even though all three of us had planned to go to the vendors on Monday, we were going to do everything else and then just so I actually walked around the vendors. So I found the Troma table. I got to meet Lloyd Kaufman. I got a picture with him and with they had a guy that dressed in a Toxie outfit, and it was awesome. It was awesome. He was really fun. He was really nice. The other people working at the table were also very nice, very pleased that people were stopping by and supporting very low budget, crazy cinema. So much so that that Lloyd Kaufman gave me a few free things, which again will be shown off when I show off everything I got from the con, yada yada. So that'll be really neat. So that was really awesome and really sweet of him. I got a few more free things from some of the people here that I'll explain in a little bit when I show them off, because there are stories there. After that, at 5:30, there was the Starship Troopers panel I was desperate to go to. It was the only one with all three of them. Friday had something called Operation Jump Ball, which was just Patrick Muldoon and just Casper Van Dien. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And Sunday had Operation Bug Hunt, is what I think it was called. I would need to double check that one. And that was just Patrick Muldoon and just Dina Meyer. So the only one with all three of them was Operation Mobile Infantry, which was Saturday. And of all the panels I was going to, that's the one I was most excited to hit up. For obvious reasons. Starship Troopers is one of the greatest movies ever made. I love that movie. You all know how much I love that movie. I don't need to go on. So, I get in line for that. Get really awesome seats, fairly close to the front. It begins, and we get introduced, and people are. There's actually a really funny story here about the introduction. Dina Meyer had to run out. I don't know if she got a phone call or what. So that was going to be the first person introduced. The moderator comes up and introduces her, and she's not quite ready yet. So they introduced Casper Van Dien first, then Patrick Muldoon, and then like 5 seconds later, Dina Meyer. That was amusing to watch. I am fans of all three of them. Dina Meyer has starred in some of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion, being Starship Troopers, Dragonheart, and actually a movie that finally came out earlier this year in 2017, after like 15 years in production, called The Evil Within, which was so amazing it made me cry. It's a phenomenal film. She's great in it. She's great in everything. Anyway, watching these three, who have worked together on various projects throughout the years, and they've maintained friendship, they've maintained a closeness. They do describe each other as family. Is remarkable. Seeing them play off each other, seeing their interaction with fans, seeing how much fun they're having with each other, with the fans, and just the genuine respect and love they have for each other, each other's families, and for the fans was amazing and remarkable. And if you guys thought that I loved them before this, my respect and love for them went up so much after that. They are so gracious and so awesome and so kind and so giving to their fans that that it's amazing. It's spectacular to watch. It's so sweet. And I have similar stories of every celebrity I met just being the nicest people. The celebrities at Dragon Con wanted to be there. They want to interact with their fans. And when people come up with weird things that they've been in, or wrote, or more obscure items about or created by these people, they're pleased. You can tell they are happy and pleased that people are big enough fans to track these things down and love them so much that they want them signed. Does that make sense? I, of course, asked a question. First thing I said was, all that stuff I've been making for the fans, I want to thank them for that. And the place erupted in applause. And everybody went wild. Everybody's agreeing. These people are great to us. We're nobody. We're not known like they are. They don't have to be this kind or caring, and yet they totally are. And it's great, so I thank them for that. Then my question is about them working together. Patrick Muldoon and Kester Van Dien have made several films together. Dina Meyer and Patrick Muldoon have made several films together. Kester Van Dien and Dina Meyer have made several other films together, excluding Starship Troopers. But all three of them have never been in the same movie together outside of Starship Troopers. So I asked about that. What project would bring these people together and to work on one movie again? They said it would be a lot just due to timing, family, and everybody, they have significant others, they have children, they have lives outside of the work. So it would be a little bit, but they wouldn't be opposed to it, which is really cool. And I got to hear about a new movie coming out with Patrick Muldoon and Kester Van Dien about werewolves. So I can't wait to watch that. That's going to be really awesome. As I described it to Courtney and Elizabeth after that panel when we met up in the art show, that's the other thing I did. I met Elizabeth at the art show before going to the Starship Troopers panel. So we watched on there a little bit and realized that it's basically the artist gallery. I thought it would be an actual art show. But no, it's basically the artist gallery. So we then decided Courtney would really love that. So Elizabeth and her went back there while I was in the Starship Troopers panel because they had other panels they wanted to do. So that was really cool and fun. So I met them back there. Courtney had bought a few things. Describing the panel to Courtney and Elizabeth, I described it as, outside of Mary and Courtney, it's the greatest thing I've experienced in my life. That panel was awesome. Everybody respected everybody else. Everybody had questions. And it was just so much fun seeing them interact. After dinner, they went to go do their own thing. I believe they went back to the hotel, but they might have had a panel they both wanted to attend before heading back. I went to go do the charity games and crafting night at the military sci-fi track. Again, spent a lot of my time there. The Starship Troopers thing was part of that. The Rewind and Rewatch was part of that. And that was a lot of fun. Somebody made a fan-made Monopoly board for Stargate SG-1, and that's what I played. Met with some really cool people. We had a ball playing it. They were offering up some snacks and candy and stuff, and then there's a charity bucket where they asked me to donate it if you were having fun and that sort of thing. So I threw some money into that. Every panel and every track was taking donations because DragonCon gives to charity every year, and this year the charity was Special Olympics Georgia, and they were going to match however much they made up to $100,000. So they were really hoping to get that number in donations. After that, I had initially planned on going to the MC Chris show. I love MC Chris. He's the person I've seen perform live the most often. And after meeting Lori Kaufman at the Troma table, I decided I should really go to that. and I'm really glad I did. It was a lot of fun, very informative. Had the director and star of one of the latest Troma films who were there to discuss that, how it happened, and the state of independent cinema, and it was very informative, very fun. And Sean Gunn, brother of James Gunn, actor in his own right. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. He's on Gilmore Girls. He's the star of Romeo and Juliet, written by James Gunn, directed by James Gunn. You couldn't tell by the title, it's a Troma movie. And that was a wonderful surprise. He loves Troma. You can tell he appreciates all the opportunities Troma has led him to have, and that panel was fantastic. After that, caught the train, went back home. Sunday. The first panel Sunday was supposed to be the Q&A for Mystery Science Theater, but of course, due to technical issues Friday, it became the Real Crime panel. A note about Sunday, Elizabeth and Courtney both decided they were too damn tired to go that day. So I was on my own all day Sunday, which actually was a little bit sad because I wanted to experience these things with them, but given the number of different panels we were all hitting between Friday and Saturday, I only saw them for 30 minutes here or an hour there. So I go to a Real Crime, which was supposed to be You Know More Than Us, Mystery Science Theater Q&A, and that was a lot of fun. I described Real Crime earlier, so I won't go into that. Trace Belew's pick was a 1950s movie called The Loved One, which sounds really good. I really want to watch it. Bill Corbett shows Southland Tales, that weird, misguided, awkward, but fascinating to watch Richard Kelly film. And Frank Conniff chose the original Rex Harrison starring musical Dr. Dolittle, which is way too long and boring, but not awful. And then the moderator chose Streets of Fire, oddly enough. That was a lot of fun. It was a very funny panel. I had penciled in that I was going to go according to the Walk of Fame to see a few things we were trying to get done. For a variety of reasons, time, that kind of stuff. That didn't totally happen. So I actually went to the only thing on the horror track I went to, because I am a big fan of horror, which was the Alien Bug Hunt panel. Bug Hunt is a new short story anthology book that recently came out, set in the Alien universe, and it had the authors of some, not all, but some of those short stories in there. And that was a lot of fun. It was really cool to hear about what they were trying to do in the universe, how they thought they could expand upon it, what most intrigued them about playing in that sandbox. That was a really solid panel. After that was the one I believe both Elizabeth and Courtney would have been the most sad to have missed on Sunday. Again, they weren't there. And that was the Fifth Element panel. Remembering Fifth Element, 20 years old. It's the worst panel I went to. I understand the moderator got thrown into this at the last minute, and I'm not blaming her. I don't know what happened to the original moderator. But on the panel were just fans of the movie. There was no authority like Daniel Griffith or Streets of Fire, who could discuss the state of sci-fi film before Fifth Element, after Fifth Element, the style of Luc Besson before Fifth Element, after Fifth Element. The fact that Fifth Element came out of him, Luc Besson, being unable to get the right Valerian and Laureline, the 1960s comic that lasted decades. So he created his own kind of thing for that. Granted, that's not the only reason for film exists. There are other influences, other things, other writers that help shape that. But that is one of the things. None of this gets discussed. They briefly discussed the favorite characters in the most shallow possible way. I liked Ruby because Ruby was funny. That's as in-depth as we got. They shouted out quotes, and it was a lackluster panel all the way around. I don't doubt the sincerity or how nice the panelists were, but I can just invite a few friends over for dinner and have that exact same experience. That was disappointing. Then I had a photo op with Kevin Sorbo. Again, much like the Christopher Judge and the Starship Troopers Team Up one, the professional photo op. What you get with that is an actual photo. It will be shown off in a little bit. You'll see what I mean. So that happened. I went back to the Walk of Fame afterwards, and I finally got the Chiodo brothers. I kept missing them. Finally got them to sign stuff. So very excited by that. They were really sweet, really awesome. Talked to me for like 10 minutes about some of their movies, including one weird one that I brought called Pinata Survival Island. When I show that movie off, I will discuss what was talked about then. There was the Kevin Sorbo panel. It was a Q&A, and it was a lot of fun. The moderator had a whole intro sort of built up in his head, and Kevin Sorbo blew that out of the water by walking in and just yelling, "Wake up, everybody!" And the place went wild. It went nuts. And it basically, like after a small introduction and getting a few basic questions out of the way by the moderator, we went straight to questions. It was a lot of fun. People asked about how he got the job. He almost got cast as Superman in the New Adventures of Superman, Lois and Clark with Dean Cain. It came down between him and Dean Cain, and they went with Dean Cain, obviously. Hercules was meant to only be 5 movies, 5 2-hour mixed TV movies, and by the time they were filming the 4th one maybe, I forget, one of those 2 numbers, they got the call, yeah, we're turning this into a series. So they turned it into a series, and he was living in New Zealand, because that's where they shot it for the longest time. He discussed how he got it. He's really sarcastic and really damn funny. And that was awesome to experience. I did ask a question. He's done several different kinds of genres of film. Fantasy, sci-fi, family films, religious movies, Western. So I asked, is there a genre you haven't done that you want to? His answer was romantic comedy. He wants to do that. That'd be really cool to see him do. After that, I had dinner. I packed snacks again. So I just kind of camped out off to the side of one of the hotels and ate quickly. Then I walked around for a while getting more pictures of people in cosplay. Awesome cosplay. There was a Nanny McPhee one. There was a freaking Phantom of Paradise cosplay. There was cosplay for the main characters of the Tarzan movie Fall. It was really cool to see people do such different, awesome cosplay. There were cosplay for Heather. Heather had cosplay. It was awesome. After dinner, I got in line for the Critters panel. Chiodo Brothers, their first movie that they keyed and did special effects and did everything on was Critters. There were 4 Critter movies. I loved them all to varying degrees. Some are better than others. 2 is my personal favorite. But I enjoy them. They're awesome. They're ridiculous. And they don't use too much CGI. They don't use any CGI. And it was really cool. We got to see never before seen behind the scenes footage of Critters 2 and hear the how the puppets evolved, how they came to be designed, how they were designed, and things like that. The Chiodo brothers finished each other's sentences very well without talking over each other, which was cool. And once again, Daniel Griffith was the person moderating this. And while he actually wasn't moderating She's Fired, he was one of the panelists and there was a different moderator. That same sort of insight that he has Fire, he has for the Chiodo brothers and Critters, because he's interviewed them and that sort of thing. And this is what he does. And he's so cool. He's a great moderator. They do have a tendency to ramble and get off track a little bit, which I'm not complaining about. Very fun, very engaging personalities to listen to. But he could rein them back in and get them to stay on topic, which was really cool. After that, I had to race to the Marriott Key to get to the State of Geek Cinema panel, which is the only panel I was able to make it through that had Chris Gore on it. And that panel was pretty good. We only got through 3 or 4 of the 15 topics that should have been discussed. But it's also due to the lively discussion going on about Marvel, DC, Star Wars. Those are the big things we hit with a very minor mention of independent cinema. Afterwards, I got to meet Chris Gore. He signed my book that I have that he wrote. And then he invited myself and another person out for drinks. How cool is that? So the panel I was going to go to after State of Geek Cinema, I did not go to. I'm really sorry, DC Douglas. Your panel sounded amazing. You still developed me very well when I got to meet you. But if Chris Gore invites you out for drinks, you don't say no. So I hung out with Chris Gore for like an hour and a half. That doesn't include us going to PowerPoint karaoke, which was awesomely hilarious. In which there were two judges and a host, and they were your moderators and stuff. And then the various celebrity guests came up to do a PowerPoint presentation on a topic of their choosing, but they hadn't seen the PowerPoint slides before. And they were being randomized by a person in the back on a computer, and it was hilarious. For those who don't know, Chris Gore had a magazine called Film Threat that went through the 90s and then went away, and it's now back as a website. It's utterly kick-ass and awesome. I highly recommend it. I know for the new movie show, if any of you guys think that from IFC, I think it was the Independent Film Channel that was on, but I don't totally remember that. He was really smart, really fun. He moves very quickly. You can see the wheel in his head just keep turning. It was really great. I had to leave a little bit early. I started to walk to the subway station and then walk back to our hotel and whatnot. I didn't want to get too late because there's a point in time where the subway stopped running. But it was awesome. He was very cool, very sweet, really great guy. I was very happy I got to meet him.